career?
Yeah, have you been doing like a career situation?
Yes, I was employed 3 years as a consultant at Ryan LLC as a tax credits consultant and credits and incentives, and we assisted in like site location, relocation, expansion, find them a building, and then we negotiate incentives from like the county, the city, and the state on their behalf before they like announce the deal, you know. So like these credits help like bring companies to town. And
do you like help lawyers, or
no,
are you a lawyer?
No, I wasn't a lawyer.
Okay,
I got a finance degree.
More like I was gonna say like basically you. And this is, I'm spitballing here really hard. So basically you explain to people what sort of like government benefits they could get from like that property specifically, like what,
or from that location, this city compared to this city, like they can offer you a property tax rebate, money for employing a certain number of employees, and it varies.
So you're like a deal finder or something, to like to put it simply, to put it like grossly over simply.
It's I always was like, I don't even know what I do here, so it's really like difficult to explain, but that's the gist of it, I guess.
That is so not funny. I'm glad
I feel like for a couple
you get to do comedy.
Yeah. I feel like for a couple of weeks, when you're taking the time off, just talking to people about what you did do, so that then you can try to get jobs doing it, and because you're going to have to go into like an interview room and be like, well, what I did was, and why not chat with everyone about it, and finally you can explain it, and they're like, that's the best way to explain that I've ever heard. Doug, you're on our team. Yeah. You're funny, you're cool, and you've made me finally understand what this business is. Oh, God. Wow, you're real smart.
No, that's awesome. And I'm glad that you said that, because that's something I kind of like, I always think about, like, there's still like this short list of people that I just want to ask me to work with them, but I don't want to like specifically ask them. I want it to happen because of something
you want to earn it.
Impressing them. Yeah. So like, there's just this like top 5 of people that I'm just kind of like, my efforts are sort of geared at them, just so they can be like, hey, that was finally something I liked.
That was great, man.
Yeah. You've been toiling away for 2 years. You finally did it. Why don't you come do this thing with me now? Which, I don't know. I get mad at sometimes, but at the end, it's like, I agree to these rules, and I will fucking win by these rules.
Well, yeah, it's like when I do a commercial, and they put me in the costume, and then 6 people stand around me and talk about me like I'm a mannequin, and are like, yeah, this looks all right. Let's pull this part up over here. Like, I signed up for that.
Yeah. You gotta.
Like, I'm gonna do.
I knew what I was getting into.
Yank that spank. Make it better. Tuck it in. Sweet. Put me in roller skates and we're done.
Give me that Brazilian. Let's roll this out.
Fuck that. I would never be in it. Nobody write a comedy video where I like have to get a Brazilian in the video. No. Well, all right, maybe.
I know what
all right. I'm doing for a comedy video. Damn it. And it'd be like Lady Jackass. You do all the things that like women do that are horrifying. Like you get like laser, hair removal on some weird crazy part of your body. Like you're like, I got hair on my boob just right here. Get rid of it. And you're like, ah! Like the laser. Just like a video of like the laser going into your body. Oh God, I'm sorry. What a tangent. When we asked the question to Doug, you looked like Delia. You looked like you were about to answer it, and we were like, shut up, let Doug talk.
Yeah.
But what were you going to answer?
Now I don't remember.
You don't remember what is important to you and what you think like you want your significant. The idea of like what you want to like, what's important to you, what you're looking to achieve. Because I was going to react to this, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to say what you were going to say.
Yeah, oh shit. Well, I just agree with you a lot, and I kind of like doing it a lot now, and I like getting to do it. So the whole mattering thing, I guess, is also kind of weird, because that would be really cool and nice if people were to acknowledge that and say that it was good. But being able to do it in general is really cool, and I just like getting to do it, because I can't think of
No.
how I want to say this.
Honestly,
You're like looking for the words, or
Yeah, or more like just like the feeling of it. Like it's really nice to just like do this and like blow like some steam off, and just getting like any sort of acknowledgement from
Just
that
the
is kind
activity
of
of
cool.
doing it is awesome. Like just being able to go out and like do a sketch show or improv show is like the awesome feeling too.
Yeah, because it's like when like when you're. The way it feels for me is like when you're riding a roller coaster and you're just like fucking terrified, but then you go do it and afterwards you're just like, whoa, that just happened. Yeah.
it's funny. I'm both further along in the journey and thus slightly more jaded, and then also very much clearly more narcissistic than all of you, because you're talking about like I'm interested in having these people work with me. I want the approval of. I don't care about literally anyone's approval.
yeah.
Like you don't like what I did. I don't care. Like I don't know what it is. Like I guess I like that people like things sometimes, but like I don't know. Because I appreciate when they like it, when they come up to me, but and maybe it's just because of the position that I'm in, but like when a person comes up to me and tells me that they like my show, I'm not thinking about how they have given me a compliment. I'm thinking about how in that moment I can connect with that human and maybe convince them to come hang out at the theater.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh, because you have to play that role also.
Yeah, but not only that, but it's kind of like the role that I've always been part. Like
You want to build the community.
yeah. I mean, every time I've done theater my whole life, it was like, yeah, you and I have just had a conversation that's really we're connected. You should hang out with me and do all the things I do. And then people go, all right. Like if I were creepier,
Okay.
I could start a cult, right?
Yeah.
And I have that sort of like cult leader, like the shit that I do is important. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm amazing. Like in my mind, you guys are talking about like these people that you care about. Like, if my husband likes or dislikes what I do, like that's cool. But like sometimes he comes to the show and then he gives me like critique after, and I'm all like, well, you're wrong.
On to the next subject.
I think that it's like
Pete, we disagree.
I think when you start out at the theater, you kind of go see stuff. You go see shows and everything that are like people. I don't know. The first few shows you see, those are people that you're like, oh shit, man! Like that guy's a person. He lives in this city. He's right here. Like
They're
he's doing
really
all this stuff and
good.
he's killing the room.
They're
you know,
really
and it's
good.
like,
Like,
and then you
I'd like to be able to do
involved.
that.
Right? And then you start getting involved, and that person is like at a certain, like that person is at a goal that also all of a sudden becomes like attainable to you, and it's like, it's also good to ask less of the whole path. You know, it's better to like want less things at least at the beginning when you're starting, because the more you demand from it, the less the more it's gonna hurt when you don't get those things. Where it's like, I don't know, every time
What do you
bomb,
mean? That's a very you've
like
given
constant.
a super vague.
Well, I mean, okay, like
statement.
if you go up there and you're like, I'm gonna kill every time, and like everybody's always gonna love what I do, and people are gonna take me seriously. At first, there are gonna be little breaks where that doesn't happen. You're gonna bomb on stage, something isn't gonna go right. I don't know, like the more ego you have going into it right at first, it's harder. I feel like that journey's bumpier because like success isn't. I don't know. You have to figure yourself out. You need to assess like what you're bringing as far as experience into it as well. And I think like I went in there and it's like everybody's gonna like me now, like in this community, and it's like that's not really how it works. It's like just because you become a part of the community doesn't mean that everybody necessarily takes you seriously at first, because like we also at the theater is like there are a lot of people that sign up and start doing stuff and then move on, or just go back to like, you know, like it was more of a lark for them or whatever. So there's like this trial period of time where it's like you need to be there and be doing stuff. Yeah, and
I
then
like it.
I was thinking just the other day that we should start calling them first years. Like before, like Delia's a first year.
Yeah.
She hasn't graduated yet. When you graduate, you've been there for a year. You're past that. If you're still around after your first year, you're going to do stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And that's just proven.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
well, I mean, there
same.
and there are also commitment levels at the theater. You know, it's like
I think there's commitment levels within. That's what we talk about
And
all
that
the time. The
proves-
idea of like within the theater, it's a pursuit that is both crazy and also like feels right. And in my world, I've literally done nothing other than that. So that's what I've done, and that's what my choice was long, long ago. And I deal with the ups and downs of it by, I don't know, just keep going. And but there's people who are just either not quite accepted that that's their path, or like it's not their path, but they're like they use it. And I'm always interested to know how people use it, because for me, like, I don't know, narcissist again, it's just about my shows, it's just about my performance, it's just about that. And like when the people come in and they like take the classes and then they like go back to whatever it is that they do, like I just would love to see the like whatever they take from it. It's interesting to me to like know the different.
They got from it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got confidence, or I got like, you know, I figured out how to market things better. Like there's people that like went through all 5 levels who like literally work in advertising. I hope that helps them to come up with a million ideas, right?
Yeah.
Their brain is so ready. They show them a product and they're like, great, here's 1,000 ideas about it. And it's like, whoa, that's great.
Yeah.
They've just made their life better. But like, I don't know, I think about lots of different people that, why they take it and what it means to them. I mean, for me, that's what I'm doing the entire time with each class. I try to watch each student and see what they need, and then I send people emails if I won't, you know, think they need to get more involved in things and like get people involved to do different other projects.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really just a matter of getting involved in doing stuff, and some people care. You're right, like as a community you can't promise that every human being is like your pal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the people who are the faculty and the staff care.
Yeah,
They've put their time in. They signed up. They were like, yeah, I'm even employed. Like, I want to do it. I care.
Yeah.
And so the idea that there's a group of people that are like legitimately like, no, whatever your concern is, we care about it. Great. Now, yeah, you can't make friends with every person. No. And
I mean, there's a division of taste and like things like that too.
Also, there's an inherent competition.
Yeah.
Which I hate when people pretend isn't there.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, you have to accept that it's there. Like, I don't hate the people I'm in competition with, but when I go into an audition with these people, I'm in competition with them. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad about it. But it's the truth.
Never thought about it until you mentioning it right now.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is like there are some of those people on that short list probably that I will never ever get that satisfaction from, because eventually I will just become I will just be going after the same things they're going after, and there just doesn't get to be that like, hey, we're just buddies trying to do stuff. It's like,
well, you're doing stuff better than me. Like,
and there's. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but it's a system that I just am not familiar with and I'm like trying to acclimate to, and it's you don't want to think about that, but you kind of like we're all sort of trying to reach for the same fruit here, and only one of us gets that juicy apple.
But the idea of that again brings us back to the beginning, which is like, what's the apple? Like what? I think about it all the time because I've done it for so long, and because I think in life you can learn from yourself. If you look back on the way you've acted or the choices you've made, you know who you are based on like, well, when the chips are down, that's what I do. Or like, I've noticed that this is a thing I keep doing. Whatever it might be, you can. I self-examine quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like, so the idea of doing theater and dealing with it, like, I never needed another person. Like, it's great that when I moved to Austin, I like called Chris True and he was like, P.S. I'm starting a theater, let's do it. Like, great. I was like, yes, I'm in, I'll sign right up. I like signed up immediately. But like, that doesn't just happen. Like, all the other places I lived, all the other theater that I did throughout my life, like, there wasn't a person that handed it to me. It was like, I did a production of No Exit in New York that people are always like, oh, really fancy, and I'm like, no. It was in like a room with like 25 people that saw it, and me and my friend produced and paid for all of it. Like, which is great, and we did that, and we decided to do that, and we accomplished the task, and it ended, and we high-fived, and then we're like, let's do that again, and then we never did, and whatever. But like, it's the work for me. That's the part that I think is that's what I want. I just want to do more stuff. I don't think there's a job that I'm going to get someday, or a movie or a TV show that I'm going to be like, and I'm done. Finished. Well, I played that role. I don't need to do any more.
I'm out.
Yeah. I mean,